We're talking with Keith Summey. He is the mayor of North Charleston, as most of you know. And I just learned that North Charleston is the third largest city in South Carolina. And it's amazing the kinds of things they've been doing here. But we want to talk about connectivity and regionalization. And those are two important points when it comes to this Future Drive project and all the other things that you're doing. Somehow we've got to connect with the rest of the world. We're not just small town South Carolina anymore.
We're not.
So what are you doing, and is this council doing to make all of that happen besides Future Drive?
Well, I think that we have, the naval base closure was an eye-opening experience for all of us. What we did is we sat down and tried to rationalize where the people who worked on the naval base, the civilians, where they came from. And it was amazing to see that about 50% of those people came from Charleston County. About 30% came from Berkeley County, and about 20% from Dorchester County. Then when we looked at the geographic makeup of the community as far as population, it almost resembled identically the population of the three counties if you put them together, what percentage they were of the tri-county. It made us realize that we've got to work together. What happens in Charleston County affects Dorchester and Berkeley, and likewise, what happens in Dorchester and Berkeley affects Charleston.
And they have a penny sales tax.
Right.
And they're using that tax for?
Road construction and connectability.
And so they're going to be working with us or catching up to us or surpassing us.
They have already expended all their money on their 1-cent sales tax. They bonded it. We worked with them on some road projects. They don't have the retail sale base that we have. You've got to remember that North Charleston is the #1 sales tax city in the state of South Carolina, and we surpassed the closest city to us by $700 million last year, and that was Columbia.
Now, how did that happen, and what does that mean?
Well, we have always been known as an industrial and commercial base. We believe in North Charleston that industrial, commercial, and residential can coexist as long as we have mutual respect for each other. And so that's what we try to do, is work together so that one doesn't overshadow the other or take advantage of the other. That's the reason we have so many people shopping in the area. If you stop and think, we're a city now of a little over 100,000 on any given day, because Interstate 26 and the Mark Clark coming through North Charleston, we have over 250,000 people traveling through North Charleston per day. The intersection of I-26 and Remount Road is the busiest intersection in the state of South Carolina, with over 100,000 vehicle movements per day.
Now, is that a good thing or is that a problem?
Well, it could be a problem. We don't see it as a problem. We see those people, while they're in the city, as our residents, our constituents, people we have to provide service for. That's why when you look at a national average for the number of police officers per 1,000, we're above the national average. And it's because we have to service those folks through traffic situations and things of that nature while they're here. While they're going through, they may stop to eat, which we get revenue from. They may stop to shop, which we get revenue from. The people coming through to stay, we're getting a lot of people staying in our hotels now.
I don't know if this is part of the plan, but when I think of regionalization, I think of connecting with other states as well. And around us, in this so-called region, would be Georgia and North Carolina. And are we interested in making a connection with those places?
We have to. And one of the things that is, I guess, disappointing in the state of South Carolina, and people don't want to hear this, we have one of the lowest gas taxes in the country. And because of that, if you leave South Carolina and you hit Florida or Georgia and get on their interstates and their roads, they got better roads than we do. And it's because we're not producing the revenue to build the roads that we need. I mean, you know, people amaze me sometimes. They want the growth. They want to see Boeing come in. They want to see people that come in, I guess, that are the new high-tech type jobs that are coming in, the new internet type jobs that are coming in. We've got Amazon moving across the street in our old city hall. All these companies that are coming in are wonderful, but the people are going to live somewhere. They've got to commute back and forth. With all those businesses and industries, if you connect Charleston, North Charleston, and Mount Pleasant last year, we had somewhere around a 10,000 population growth between the three cities. North Charleston had the highest growth rate percentage in the state of South Carolina at around 2.7, 2.8% growth in 1 year.
We're a good place for shipping from overseas and other places bringing in products and are sending out products. And North Charleston and Charleston County lies between the upstate and one of the only shipping areas in this region, probably, or one of the amongst the few. What does that mean to North Charleston and what you're doing here to connect those areas to each other?
That's one of the issues that we do have to deal with the state. They recently widened I-26 from 526 out towards Summerville. And as I was telling some people the other night, I measure that differently than most people. My wife likes to go to Longhorns because she likes their salmon. Well, before they opened up the widening of I-26, it would take us 20 to 22 minutes from my house to get to Longhorns. Since they've opened it up and it's reduced some of the traffic on Rivers Avenue at 5 to 5:30 in the afternoon, it's now an 8-minute journey. We now have to widen Interstate 26 from 526 to the peninsula because with the new port terminal that's going to be coming in and the port access road, you're going to increase the number of vehicular movements by tractor-trailer trucks in that area. We have got those things that we have to do. Everybody knows the state's funding has not been what it should. If we could ever get a governor and the House and the Senate to work together, good God, it's no telling what we could do in the state of South Carolina.
We've got BMW in the upcountry, and they have cars to ship across the globe.
And they're bringing more and more here.
And so we owe it to our community to try to connect.
And the state of South Carolina owes it to those individual communities to work with them to make that connectability feasible.
I read an article recently about the gasoline tax. I think it's like 16 cents or something like that. And I also looked it up and found that other communities, maybe the same size, and states have much more, maybe double, triple that. What is going on?
Well, the people of South Carolina don't like the word tax, but they do like the word service. And one begets the other.
They certainly do, don't they?
They do.
We're going to talk with Mayor Summey when we come back from the break about when he thinks future drive, or I'm sure it's a professional judgment as opposed to thinking, but when is future drive going to be ready for use? We'll be right back.